5. Signs your vibration reveals your path, light or dark, chosen one. There comes a point in every soul's journey when the external world no longer provides the answers. You've read the books, heard the words, followed the rules, yet something within you keeps whispering that you are not like the others, that your path is different, that you are meant for something greater, and if you found your way here, it's not by mistake. It's because your vibration is beginning to speak louder than your mind. You are being called to remember who you truly are, not as a name or a body or a role, but as a frequency, a signature of energy that reveals whether you walk the path of the light chosen or the dark chosen. And before your mind clings to what those labels mean, let's make one thing clear. Light and dark are not good and evil. They are not morality plays. They are cosmic archetypes, energetic destinies. Some are born to shine outward, to bring warmth, compassion, truth, and healing. Others are born to go inward, to carry chaos, shadow, destruction, and rebirth. One creates order, the other dissolves it. Both are sacred, both are necessary, but the world has taught us to fear the dark and glorify the light, which is why so many of you have been hiding your true path, especially those who were born to walk in shadows.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
So how do you know where you belong? How do you know if your vibration is pulling you toward the radiant call of the light chosen or the mysterious realm of the dark chosen? You don't figure it out by thinking, you feel it. Vibration is beyond logic. It's the pulse of your soul when no one's watching. It's what you do when you're alone, when you're broken, when you're stripped of identity. It's the silent truth that vibrates from your being, even when your words deny it. The first sign is hidden in your suffering. Look at the moments in your life when everything collapsed, when your heart broke, your world fell apart, your illusions shattered. What emerged? Did you become softer, more compassionate, more open to the pain of others? Or did you become sharper, more discerning, more focused and cold? If your pain turned you into a vessel of empathy, constantly feeling others' emotions, radiating hope even in despair, chances are your soul vibrates along the light path. But if your pain forged you into steel, if it awakened your intuition, your boundaries, your refusal to tolerate illusions, then you might be on the dark path. Light chosen ones are born to feel. Dark chosen ones are born to see, and your vibration reveals which of these you embody at your core. The second sign is found in how you handle truth. Light chosen ones often carry the burden of kindness. They would rather soothe than confront. Their vibration naturally uplifts. They find ways to love what others discard, but this also means they can be taken advantage of, manipulated by those who see their light, but not their strength. On the other hand, dark chosen ones do not bend for comfort. They are the mirror that exposes the lie. Their vibration disturbs, agitates, even repels those who are not ready. They do not comfort, they awaken. Their power lies in confrontation, in destruction of the false self. If you've spent your life feeling like your truth makes people uncomfortable, if you've been called too much, too intense, too serious, it's not because you're wrong. It's because your vibration is disruptive. And sometimes what is disruptive is exactly what the world needs. Here's where it gets deeper. You may feel both. You may have the tenderness of the light and the clarity of the dark. That's because these paths are not rigid categories, they are spectrums. They are chosen frequencies, and they can evolve. You might begin on one and transition into another, or you might be a hybrid soul, a bridge between both realms, carrying the capacity to nurture and to destroy, to love and to protect, to heal and to awaken. But to know your dominant vibration, you must look at your impact, not your intention. When you walk into a room, do people feel immediately at peace, or do they become aware of their shadows? Does your presence soothe, or does it sharpen? That's not just personality. That's spiritual architecture. The third sign is how you respond to solitude. Light-chosen ones suffer in isolation. They crave connection. Their vibration is relational. It needs to be shared to expand. They thrive when surrounded by love, community, purpose. Darkness feels heavy to them. But dark-chosen ones are initiated through solitude. Their greatest breakthroughs happen when no one is watching. They are reborn in silence, forged in loneliness. If you've spent years feeling like no one truly sees you, if solitude has felt less like punishment and more like preparation, you are likely carrying the dark vibration. And here's a brutal truth. No one celebrates the dark chosen one's journey while it's happening. The light gets applause, the dark gets tested. But here's what you must understand. Both paths are forms of service. The light brings people home, the dark tears down the false house. The light says you are loved. The dark says you must remember who you are, even if it breaks you. Which one are you here to be? And are you brave enough to stop pretending to be the other? Your vibration has already revealed this truth, you just haven't fully accepted it, because if you did, you'd stop conforming, you'd stop editing your essence, you'd stop asking permission to be what you already are. Let me ask you the first deep question. What would happen if you lived one day without hiding your spiritual frequency, no matter who it made uncomfortable? The mirror of power. Why people react to your energy before they understand you, and what that reveals about your destiny. Before anyone understands what you do, before they hear your story or see your actions, they feel you. They feel your vibration like a tuning fork striking their nervous system, revealing the hidden dissonance in their own soul. And this is where everything begins to make sense. Why you've always felt out of place, why people project their wounds onto you, why some are magnetized while others are repelled before a word even leaves your mouth. It's because your energy speaks before you do. And that energy doesn't lie, it mirrors, it reflects, it exposes. Not because you try, but because you exist. That's the raw power of being a chosen one, walking fully in their frequency. Your vibration is not just some spiritual metaphor, it's the very signature of your being, constantly transmitting messages that others receive intuitively, even if they can't explain what they feel. And the more attuned you become to your authentic frequency, whether of the light or the dark, the more intense people's reactions become. They're not reacting to you, they're reacting to the version of themselves that you reflect back to them. Think of the light-chosen ones. They walk into a room and hearts soften, children calm down, strangers open up. The light frequency emits warmth, openness, forgiveness, a silent invitation that says, "You're safe here, you're loved here." But this also means that people unconsciously lean on them, emotionally drain them or idolize them to the point of turning them into a crutch. Many light-chosen ones end up burned out. Not because they lack power, but because their presence feels so healing that others latch on without realizing it. And then there are the dark chosen ones. Their presence does the opposite. It provokes, it shakes, it disturbs what's been buried. People say, "I don't know what it is about you, but something feels intense." They may call you intimidating or cold or too much, without even knowing why. But it's not about you. It's about what you awaken in them. The dark chosen one vibrates at the frequency of truth, and that truth acts like a mirror that shows others their mark. And not everyone is ready for that kind of confrontation. This is why your vibration reveals your path. If your energy draws people in but leaves you feeling drained or unseen, you're likely carrying the light mission. And your challenge is learning how to give without losing yourself. If your energy makes people defensive even though you're calm and grounded, then you're likely of the dark path. And your challenge is standing in your truth without hardening your heart. But here's what's wild. Neither of these reactions are flaws. They are signs that your energy is working. You weren't meant to be neutral. You weren't born to be palatable. You came here to remind people of something they've forgotten, whether through light or through fire. So when people react to your vibration, it's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a confirmation that you're alive in your truth. But you must be aware of this truth. When you truly embody your vibration, you will lose people, not because you're failing, but because you're graduating. Some people were only in your life to teach you what it feels like to be unseen, unheard, misunderstood, so that you could rise anyway, so that you could learn to trust your inner guidance over external validations, so that you could become immune to the world's fear-based projections. The light-chosen ones often get stuck trying to rescue others, even when it costs them their peace. Their lesson is detachment, loving without losing. The dark-chosen ones often get stuck in loneliness, believing no one can understand them. Their lesson is openness, standing in power without closing their heart. So ask yourself, how do people respond to your silence, your truth, your stillness? Do they lean in or recoil? Do they soften or guard themselves? That's not a commentary on your worth. It's a reflection of your impact. And impact is the first proof of purpose. Now here's where it gets deeper. When you start to walk in alignment with your vibration, the universe reconfigures around you. People show up differently. Synchronicities increase. Time feels more fluid. Why? Because you are no longer leaking energy through self-doubt. You've become a frequency match to your destiny, and that alignment begins to draw the people, places, and experiences you were always meant to encounter but couldn't reach until you stopped pretending to be someone else. Let me leave you with a reflection that goes far beyond words. What if your presence alone was the medicine you were born to offer? And what if all the suffering you've endured wasn't breaking you, but fine-tuning your signal so the right souls could finally find you? When the shadow speaks, the vibrational secret that separates real chosen ones from the pretenders. There's a silence inside you that doesn't feel empty, it feels ancient. A space where all your wounds echo, not as screams, but as instructions. And if you've ever sat in that silence long enough, you've heard something most people never dare to listen to. Your shadow. It doesn't speak with fear. It speaks with truth so raw it burns. And that voice, that whisper from within, is the very thing that separates real chosen ones from those who merely wear the costume of awakening because it's easy to post light, easy to speak love, easy to pretend you've transcended pain. But the real initiation doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens when no one's clapping, when the shadow rises and you don't run. This is the vibrational secret so few want to talk about. The true chosen ones, whether of light or dark, have met their shadow, and instead of denying it, they've listened, danced with it, learned from it. They didn't spiritually bypass the discomfort with affirmations and toxic positivity. They sat in the void. They faced the versions of themselves they used to fear, and in that encounter something irreversible happened. They became whole. See, we live in a time where spiritual identity has become a trend, where people claim enlightenment through aesthetics, vocabulary, and algorithms. But the vibration doesn't lie. You can feel when someone has earned their wisdom. It's not in what they say, it's in how they carry silence. Real chosen ones don't need to convince you of their power. Their presence is the proof. Their shadow has been integrated, not hidden. That's the difference. That's the filter no one can fake. And this is the fourth sign that reveals your path, how you relate to your own darkness. Light chosen ones don't reject the shadow. They offer it compassion, understanding that even pain is a teacher. They learn to hold space for their inner chaos without losing their softness. But dark chosen ones, they become the student of the shadow. They walk willingly into their depths, mining their hidden rage, grief, despair, not to be consumed by it, but to understand its language. They transmute it into power, clarity, presence. Have you ever noticed that the most magnetic people you meet have usually suffered the most? That's not a coincidence. That's the vibration of someone who made peace with their shadow and now carries depth like a gravitational pull. They don't have to speak their pain, it radiates through their stillness. They are not trying to be spiritual. They are spiritual because they've been broken in ways the ego cannot survive. And this shadow work is where many fall away, because pretending to be awakened is far easier than actually awakening. The true path of the chosen demands everything you thought you were. It dismantles you, rewrites you. It forces you to see every mask you've worn and why you wore it. It doesn't allow you to skip steps. There are no shortcuts in vibration. Either you faced yourself or you haven't. So let me ask you this, from soul to soul. What is the part of yourself you're still afraid to meet? And what would happen if you finally turned toward it instead of away? You see, the shadow isn't here to destroy you. It's here to free you from illusions, from shame, from the subconscious contracts you made to stay small. And those who are truly chosen have broken those contracts. They've stopped negotiating with safety and started aligning with truth. And once that choice is made, something awakens in the vibration. A clarity, a knowing, a presence that cannot be denied. That's when you begin to lead, not by telling people what to do, but by embodying what is real. Your frequency becomes a map. Your scars become initiation rites. You stop hiding your darkness, not because it's gone, but because you own it, and in owning it, it loses its power over you. That's what the pretenders can never replicate. They'll mimic the language, the glow, the performance, but their energy will always feel hollow. Why? Because the shadow has not yet been faced, and until it has, there can be no real authority, no grounded wisdom, no vibration strong enough to withstand truth. You, on the other hand, are being called to go deeper than you've ever gone. Because your vibration doesn't just reveal your path, it builds it. And every time you embrace the parts of you that were once rejected, your frequency sharpens. Your mission becomes clearer and your soul becomes stronger. Now ask yourself, if I truly embraced my shadow as a gift, how would my vibration shift tomorrow? Who would I become? And what would I finally let go of? The final reveal, how to fully embody your chosen frequency and activate your soul's highest role. There comes a moment when remembering is no longer enough. You can feel it in your bones. Something inside you is asking to become, not tomorrow, not someday, now. After all the suffering, the revelations, the patterns broken, the masks dropped, the shadow embraced, there is only one question left. Will you live as the frequency you've always been? Because this is the final sign. This is the gateway. This is the activation that separates potential from purpose. You are not here to keep rehearsing your awakening. You are here to embody it, to stop explaining your energy and start radiating it, to stop waiting for signs and start becoming the sign. Because your soul didn't come this far for theory, it came for alignment. And alignment is when your thoughts, your words, your choices, your presence, all move in harmony with your vibration. Whether you walk the path of light, of dark, or as a bridge between the two, your power only comes online when you own it unapologetically. Most people still live in delay. They say, I'll be ready when I heal more, when I'm validated, when I'm safer. But here's the raw truth. There is no ready. Readiness is a vibration, not a checklist, and it's activated the moment you stop needing to be understood, the moment you stop hiding your gifts behind trauma, the moment you say, I am who I am, and I no longer shrink to make others comfortable. The light-chosen ones awaken when they decide to lead with love, even if it breaks them open. To bring healing into spaces that are hostile, to be the calm, the reminder, the gentle revolution in a loud, numb world. But their test is not whether they can give love, it's whether they can also hold it for themselves, whether they can stop pouring into others when their cup is dry, whether they can still shine when no one is clapping. The dark, chosen ones awaken when they stop apologizing for being a storm, when they realize their ability to pierce illusion is not cruelty but medicine. Their leadership doesn't look soft, and it isn't meant to. It's a vibration that says, wake up. And when they stop judging their intensity, when they see that their boundaries, their silence, their ability to walk away, those are spiritual tools, they step into a role few can handle, the sacred disruptor. And then there are those in between, the rare few who carry both codes, the light in one hand, the dark in the other. These are the frequency weavers, the alchemical ones who can walk in any room and become exactly what that moment needs. Their gift is adaptability, and their test is remembering who they are when no one reflects it back. So this is your moment not to try harder, but to be clearer. Your frequency is not something you get one day. It's something you decide to align with right now, in how you speak, in who you allow into your field, in what you tolerate, in what you protect, in what you amplify. The path of the chosen one isn't about being above others. It's about being rooted so deeply in your truth that nothing external can make you forget it again. You don't have to force anything. You only need to allow the frequency within you to rise and lead. And that permission, only you can give it. So now ask yourself, if I fully lived today as the frequency I was born with, what would I release? What would I reclaim? And how would the world shift just from my being real? Because that's what this has always been about. Not performance, not perfection, just truth. And your truth is a frequency the world has never heard before in this exact way. It's time they did.